Let's see. You can find me in 7 different places. I'm also in this room with you as well.
Don't make it weird.
Well, hey guys, what's up? I'm live right now, coming to you. My face is on the screen. Also, Instagram is now officially live. Hi guys, welcome to the live stream. I surprised you and did Instagram too, because we don't half-ass anything. We whole-ass 3 things. So I am here today, obviously, to talk about my book. If you didn't know I was going to do that, you haven't been paying close enough attention. I also just found out that this is a different color cover for the book, which is kind of exciting. I know a lot of you guys have been getting blue ones, so hopefully we've just got a rainbow coming. But we're going to talk about the book a little bit. I'm going to be signing books, which is the main reason why we are here. I have these wonderful little spots in the book to sign, since some of you guys went ahead and bought copies. I'm also going to be answering some questions. I've got a big ass iPad right here that I'm ready to answer questions from. So yeah, and then I'm also going to call one of you guys, or rather one of you guys is going to call me, as I do not have your number. So yeah, and then we might even read a little bit from it. I actually don't know what part we should read yet, but I'm excited. And we're going to do a crazy Q&A, rapid fire questionnaire with a mysterious man yelling from the back. So get excited for that. It is my manager. His name is Byron. Treat him well. Okay, so hi again, Instagram. I don't want to leave you guys in the dark for too long, but this is my main camera over here, which is why I'm not going to be looking at you, but I still love you, and I think you're great, and I cherish every single one of you. Because look, we're already up to 780 people watching over here. So hi, everybody. So I guess to start off, let's get into the questions. Are we cool to get into the questions, everybody? Okay. Yeah. Yes, we are. If you hear random people in the background, just so you know, there are people in this room with me. It is not haunted. So don't worry about it. Okay, so first off, do you think you'll write a second book in the near future? That's from Sean in Sterling Heights, Michigan. Well, I just wrote the first one. Could you slow your roll? Like, this is the day of the release. You really want a second one? Read the first one. I know it's a short read, but I know you haven't finished it yet. So I don't need to hear about a second book. Also, talk to my editor. I mean, she's the one that had to deal with me. So if you got a problem, call Sarah. You can take it up with her. But yeah, I would write a second book. I mean, the last one I felt like I was stumbling into writing a book, and it was a great experience, and now I feel like I can stumble in the right direction the second time, which is great. So yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it in any way. I just got rolled 2 Sharpies so that I can commence the signage. Can I go ahead and start signing books? Yeah. So I'm going to be signing these books while I'm chatting with you guys. Hi again, Instagram. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing great. I love all of you so much. So just like, hang out there. We'll see you in a bit. Back to you guys. Hey, Facebook. How you doing? And YouTube. I forget that I'm doing YouTube right now. I kind of want to go and check myself out. Is that narcissistic? Probably. It's crazy. I haven't used the YouTube live stuff before, so this is my first time. But I've been seeing everyone being really cool and doing it. So, like, don't worry, guys. I'm hip and happening, too. I'm still on the up and up. Okay, so this is first official signed book to one of you guys that pre-ordered this. So thank you guys. This is official. Yay! It's done! We don't have to sign anymore, right? That's all I have to do? No? Okay. Still gonna go. Next question. How has authoring this novel changed you in ways you couldn't have expected? It made me talk about some stuff that I probably wouldn't have normally talked about, which is great. I've got a whole chapter in the book about sex, which my good Christian mother probably doesn't love. But I thought it was important since I didn't have a great sexual education when I was younger. I thought that was something that I should instill to my younger generation. I thought that was important. Also talked a bit about mental health, although I don't ever want to be patronizing or try to sell a book off of mental health. So it's more of my personal experience rather than a broad umbrella. So yeah, kind of just topics like that probably would come up in maybe a YouTube video if you guys had asked questions, but were kind of more thoughts from my own brain that were interesting. The weird part about writing a book is it's like you really want to do a Q&A and get as many questions from your viewers so that you can just write a book based on Q&As. You kind of have to to get, philosophical on you, you have to ask yourself, what you want from a Q&A. You have to ask yourself the Q&A. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty deep of me. I know. Okay, who is one of your favorite authors? I can be stereotypical and say Jane Austen, because that is a true statement. I just read Pride and Prejudice again for probably the third or fourth time. No shame in the game, ladies. It's a good book. Jane Austen was one of those novelists when I was younger who shaped me because my mom was obsessed with all things British culture. And guess what? I ended up dating a British dude, so that really worked out. Other than that, I love David Sedaris. He is fucking hilarious. Excuse my language, Instagram. I'm so sorry, Instagram. I love you so much. But David Sedaris is the best. If you haven't read, I'm trying to think of Naked is really good by David Sedaris. That's a good one. If you like really, really kind of cynical comedy, it's a good one. Let's see. What else do we got here? Any advice for giving a speech in front of an audience? I'm sort of doing that right now to 3 different audiences. So the main thing I can say is avoid caffeine, which, nice. Avoid caffeine so you don't freak yourself out. And oddly enough, this is such a weird tip and it's only going to work for like people with glasses, but don't wear your glasses. If I can't see people, they don't exist. I'm not nervous because you are not a person to me. You are a blob of color. So yeah, that's a pro tip if you're a nerdy person and you wear glasses all the time. You can kind of trick yourself into not being scared of things. Also, just realize that everyone is nervous. That's one thing that really helped me. I had to do a speech class in high school, and you would think I'd be really good at it with my charismatic demeanor. But I was terrible at it. I would get up, and I would get sweaty and gross, and my teacher was really hot, too, so that didn't help. But every time I was just like, this next kid in front of me is sweating more than me, so I'm okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see here. Who is your favorite comedian? I just started watching Baskets, which is created and written by Louis C.K. and Zach Galifianakis. It is hilarious. So I would have to say probably Louis C.K., although I can only watch so many stand-up clips of his before I get a little bit depressed. So you kind of got to balance that one out. Also, I just marked on this person's book. So whoever gets this graffiti page, you're special. Just know that. That'll actually be hilarious. If someone does get this book, can you please take a picture of it for me and send it to me? I would love to know who gets this, sadly. In fact, I'll just do an extra little markup of it. Here's a bunch of stars on this page, just so you get extra special privileges since I ruined your book. There you go. Beautiful. Okay, let's see here. When going through hard times, I like to listen to music that is tied to certain happy memories. Do you ever do that as well? And if so, what's a song that brings back happy memories for you? I kind of do the same thing. It's more like when I get stressed out or I know I need to work a lot, I will listen to an album that I super duper like that's a bit more chill. And that one for me is Beirut, No, No, No. It's a great one if you like something that you can work to and play to. They do some really crazy, big band music that I'm sort of into, big time, hard time, on Spotify. So yeah, Beirut's a great one. The band, and then No, No, No as the album. Also, another thing that I've realized is scent memories are really strong. So if you have a perfume that you wear on vacation, if you're having a rough day, take a big old sniff of that, because it helps so much. Aromatherapy is a nuts business, and it works. Okay. What do you like to do in your free time? Good question, Jacqueline. I like to sleep a lot. I like to read a lot. I like to read my own book a lot. I'm just kidding. I think I've read through my book. I mean, the amount of times that I read through my book while editing it counts for maybe at least 4 or 5 times of actually reading the book. But I think in total, after the book came out, I think I've half-ass read it once or twice. I just read it too much in the editing phase, okay, guys? It's still a great read. It's a lot to see your own words, a bunch. I was doing the audiobook 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I kept reading it out loud, and I was like, who wrote this? Like, why would you use this sentence structure? And it's like, oh, because I was stressed out, and that's how I decided to use that. So yeah, I don't even understand my own writing sometimes. But yeah, other than sleeping, reading, I like drawing a lot. I recently got a really dope app on my iPad so you can doodle really well, and I started incorporating it into my videos, which some of you guys have noticed. But yeah, those doodles are awesome because they just relax me and it's a fun time. Okay, let's see here. What are some of your favorite films? Recently, I just watched Moonrise Kingdom again, and I gotta say, Wes Anderson, what up, kid? How you doing? Anytime you want me, I'll wear blue eyeshadow every day of the week for you. I'm wearing it right now, so since you're definitely watching this, Wes Anderson, let me know if you ever want to do anything. Yeah, I really like Moonrise Kingdom. It's super kitschy, and my mom is obsessed with everything Wes Anderson. She loves tartan as a pattern constantly, and Wes Anderson loves old school patterns, so my mom super duper loves that. Other films I really like. To be honest, my favorite film era was anytime Amanda Bynes was doing anything. So, like, What a Girl Wants, shout out to What a Girl Wants. Doesn't get enough love now. I grew up with that movie. That's a great movie. And then recently I saw There Will Be Blood, and it changed my life. And I think in a positive way. It's very shocking. Whoever scored that movie, you did a number on my mental health. I love it. Okay. I'm actually going to take a little break from the questions real quick and look through my book and see what I want to read to you kids, because I'm going to start reading a little bit. Because I think that's a good plan. How are you guys doing over there? How you doing, Instagram? Just wanted to check in one more time. Check the temperature. See how you guys are doing. I think you guys are doing pretty well. I'm seeing a lot of comments. What's your favorite song on the new album by Ed Sheeran? What's that dance one? I like the one where you dance to it. That's me with every album. I like the one that you dance to. So dumb. Let's see here. So, okay, maybe I need help from the comments. I have like a good page and a half where I describe how Will and I shacked up. Not like physically shacked up, but like how we met each other. So if you'd like to hear that, that's one passage. So comment down below if you want that. I can see you over there. I can also maybe read comments over here. That's one option. I also have just a bunch of lists that are really fun too, which doesn't sound like very much fun, but trust me, it's like, they involve like chloroform and zip ties. Who knows? I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on in my own book. It's a Mod Podge, guys. It's love and it's chloroform. Oh, I also have this. This is a naked illustration of myself that, says an ode to my butt. I have an entire chapter about my butt, but it's not really about my butt. That's the secret. That's called writing, where you make something sound like it's something and then it's different. But why don't we does a Will passage sound good to everybody? Because I think that's a cute one. Also, he just left yesterday, so I'm very lonely, and I feel like reading about my own boyfriend from my own thoughts. But let me find it real quick. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see here. I know this is pretty long, so I'm not going to go crazy too far into it. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll start it at a chapter that's not too heavy. Basically, I talk about how I had just broken up with my longtime boyfriend from high school. So that's where this starts off. In fact, a lot of you guys actually knew him because he was on my YouTube channel. LOL. You can still find videos of it. LOL. But let's talk about my new boy, my new beau. That's better. Not even my new beau. I've been dating him for 2 years. It's not even new, but you know, still fun. Okay, so I'm gonna start reading from where I had just become single. And I had just gone on a date with a 31-year-old British man who drove a Porsche, and I was 19, and that's gross. And begin. During this bizarro period of semi-dates, I started noticing that one William Derbyshire had been tweeting at me. Millennials. He would randomly tell me I looked beautiful if I posted a selfie. Or he would reply to a funny tweet of mine with a well-placed emoji. No big, I'm hilarious online. It wasn't a disturbing number of tweets, but being the extra sensitive narcissist that I am, I began to get creeped out. Not because anything he did warranted a to catch a predator moment, but because I hadn't ever had a guy online treat me as if I was worthy of praise like he did. He was outright. He didn't care that I wasn't responding. He kept sending me pleasantries and small flatteries. It was sort of cute, but also creepy to me, mainly because I had forgotten I had already met him. That's the part of the book that I probably should go back and explain. I met him in a drink line at VidCon. He was a tall, giraffe-like animal, beautiful, liquid pools of, liquids in his eyes. It was beautiful. He's a beautiful man. But either way, I met him in a drinks line. I completely fucking forgot that I met him. And so when I saw him on Twitter, I had no idea who he was. So that's where that begins. Okay, but he remembered me. Obviously, as you would, as a normal human being, you would remember someone else's face. Maybe I didn't have my glasses on. That's my excuse. Anytime he brings it up and holds it over me. That's my excuse. I had forgotten I had already met him. I'm the worst. I actually wrote that in the book. I'm the worst. I kept wondering who this mysterious man was. What did he sound like? How tall was he? My stupid brain didn't register that I already knew what he sounded and looked like. I went on like this, passively checking in to see if he had said anything new to me online, until I finally had enough curiosity to ask a friend about him. I was sitting in the kitchen with Jen and Lauren, roommates and YouTubers extraordinaire, when someone rang the doorbell. Jen popped downstairs and reappeared moments later with Rebecca Black. That's right. After making small talk for a good bit, we all got on to participating in one of our favorite activities, talking absolute shit. Now, I'm not saying we were huge gossips, but we were huge gossips whenever we gathered in the kitchen. It was rarely a negative conversation. It usually went something like this. Wait, those two are dating now? I thought she was dating a Mormon from Detroit. No, they broke up 3 weeks ago. He's with that girl who hosts Radio Disney events. Nothing overtly harmful was ever discussed during our sessions, but on this night in particular, I had some questions for Miss Black. I knew she had a tentative connection to Will, and I wanted the dirt on what his deal was. When I showed her the tweets and voiced my concern at the forwardness of this internet stranger, Rebecca freaked out. You don't know Will? How do you not know Will? You guys would be so perfect for each other. He's so sweet and kind and gentle and wonderful and probably is a really good kisser and he has a British accent and he treats girls really nicely and I bet and she might have not actually said the entirety of that rant, but the feeling I got after finishing a long chat with her was that I would be stupid not to at least give him a chance. So I messaged him and we chatted and he seemed like a normal person. No psychopathic tendencies or hints of craziness. Just a nice, normal man. Exactly what I was looking for during my lackluster Tinder swiping sessions. So I gave him my number and told him that we should hang out next time he was in LA. He was living in London, but he made the trip out to LA on a regular basis for work or to visit friends. About a month after our chat conversation, I received a mysterious text message. All it said was, "Hey, it's Will. I'm going to be in town next week if you want to meet up." Smiley face. I replied, "Oh my God, Will, I haven't seen you in so long. It'll be so nice to see a hometown friend in Cali for once." Smiley face. I thought Will was a Will who I'd grown up with in Arkansas. Hometown Will had a brother going to college in Malibu, and I assumed he would be a Will who would visit the West Coast occasionally. I had saved neither hometown nor London Will's number, and it was just a matter of time before that switch-up complicated things. Haha, what? Sorry, this is Will from London. LOL. Ha, this was embarrassing. I closed the message and pretended it didn't happen. So that's good. I didn't text him back. I told myself I would, but I didn't. I think I was a bit ashamed of looking like such an idiot, but I mainly didn't know if I was ready to hang out with this Will. I was still in my are these tears or shower water phase of relationship grief, and I wasn't sure if I could move on with my romantic life just yet. Ending a 3-year relationship was pretty tough, and this man was British and cute. I had convinced myself that rejection was inevitable. We would go on one date, I would act like a weirdo, and he wouldn't get that my whole thing is being a weirdo. So I went ice cold. I didn't reply to his message, and I'm pretty sure he thought my cell phone had self-destructed or something. He wrote me on Twitter later that week, reaffirming that he'd sent me a text and would be so happy if he could see me when I was in town. Being the impulsive people-pleaser I was, I said yes, hesitantly. Obviously, he didn't know what a melty, sobbing mess I was on the other side of that Twitter profile, and he set us up to have a coffee date on Melrose. How charming of him, damn it. Getting ready for the date, I cried. I cried when I picked out my outfit. I cried when I turned on my shower faucet. I cried when I washed the shampoo out of my hair. I cried when I toweled off. I cried when I texted him to cancel our date because I was crying so much. Will had already been at the coffee shop waiting for me for an hour. I know this now because he bitterly retold his side of the story after we'd been dating for about 4 months. Spoiler alert, we're dating. Ha! It's been 2 years. You should already know that. Okay. Will thought I was just a flighty turd after that, but he still had a crush. I think I stuck in the back of his head for a while since I was so damn hard to pin down. Such was the life of someone pining after an emotionally unavailable asshat like myself. Poor guy. Will and I easily could have met up that day and had coffee and talked to each other and laughed and then hugged goodbye and never dated each other ever again. I was in a weird place at the time, and so was he. Our timing wasn't great during coffee time, just like it wasn't great when we met in the drinks line. Beverages should have never been involved in the genesis of our relationship. It wasn't until January 2015 that we went on our first real date. Since June, we had been ships passing in the night, always just missing each other. It took 6 months for us to finally find a place that we could meet. It was also in a different country that was not my own, and I will say I paid for a very expensive Airbnb and a flight to go have a first date with him. So Will, if you're going to get bitter at me again for standing you up, I paid a lot of money to go on a first date with you. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I had rented out an apartment in London for 2 weeks at the beginning of January. My friend Kat had asked me months prior if I was down to go on a European excursion, and I, being the impulsive creature that I am, said yes. We ended up booking everything only a couple weeks before leaving. During this time, I was heavily Snapchatting and sliding into Will's DMs. After what Rebecca had said and what I had discovered when I finally checked out his YouTube, I knew Will to be an extremely interesting guy. The videos he produced on his channel were beautiful short films highlighting each element in his life. He would spend weeks on each one, carefully articulating his thoughts about the world while maintaining the goofy quirkiness that had instantly drawn me in. He didn't like being on camera, and there was something adorable about his awkwardness. One of the first videos of his that I ever watched was A Letter to My Future Wife. Like, stop it. Just stop. Stop it. It was during the last 5 seconds of that video, as I processed finally hearing his voice and looking through the glasses through which he saw the world, that I realized I needed to get up on Mr. Derbyshire, or I was making a huge mistake. I wanted to do more than text him. Occasionally about the new Game of Thrones episode. So we made a real date. I was going to be in London. He was picking me up at my rented apartment in West Hampstead. He had my address. This was the point of no return. Either I went on this date, or I would have to fake my own death. And that's where I'll end my passage reading. Cliffhanger, even though you know how it ends. Still a cliffhanger. You don't know how the date went. That's all I'm saying. Are we good to answer some more questions? Dope. Were you trying to tell me that on the iPad and I was just like absolutely ignoring you? I felt that vibe. I was like, I don't know. I hear some whispering over there. Okay, here we go. And if you like this story, you can get a signed copy of the book at ardenrosebook.com. We're still selling these books, so if you want a signed copy, I'm going to be signing them and selling them so that you guys can get your hands on one. ardenrosebook.com. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so now that you've heard that passage, let's get back to some more questions, because you guys asked me a lot of questions, and I'm going to do you justice. Don't worry. I'm also going to keep signing books, because I think I'm kind of behind on signing books. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. How long did it take to write your book? I read it in one sitting. Love you. Is that patronizing? Are you trying to tell me something? You know, like the length of my book? Because it's a great little train ride or a car ride. I'm just going to say, it's a great length. No, it actually took quite a long time. I found out in, Byron, correct me if I'm wrong, but 2015 December, we decided to start doing it.
Book.
Yeah, book. January 2016?
We really started around March of last year.
No, that's when I started writing. But when did we start? When was the genesis of us?
January-ish.
Okay, January-ish. So that was the floating, scary voice of my manager, Byron. Hello. Yeah, so we kind of got the idea to do the book in January of 2016, and then started writing it really in March, once I was forced to put pen to paper, which is a good thing. It's very hard to write the first sentence or first chapter of your book. That's what I've learned. It's incredibly hard to decide where you're going from there. So, yeah, it took it took me, I think we finished it in late August, early September, right?
It's October.
Was it October?
We were at the Love Hotel.
Fuck. You got this so much better than me. Byron is like my better subconscious. Yeah, so we finished it in October, which meant that it was 10 months of writing, sort of, and like book prep. But totally worth it, and it was a fun time. It goes to show that a lot of work and time goes into something this thick. So appreciate your hardcore fiction novelists. They are going hard. Also, this is, I'm doing like a Jenga stack of books over here, and I gotta like not do that anymore. These are already signed. Okay. I'm sending you much love from Germany. Hope to welcome you here one day. I'd love to come to Germany. Germany sounds like a lovely place. Wiener Schnitzel sounds great. I know that's not what you're only known for, but that was the first thing that came into my mind. So I must have outdated knowledge about Germany. But I would also love to come to Berlin. That's kind of like where I would like to go. I've never been to Berlin before. And I hear it's got like somewhat of a similar vibe to like almost like a Detroit or a Brooklyn, and I'm kind of into that. And we're going to do our game, by the way, our quick fire game in 5 minutes. So get excited for that. We're going to answer a lot of questions. Is it 25 questions? 22? 22 questions. Oh, I'm about to turn 22. Did you guys do that on purpose? That's cute. Thanks, guys. Brandy from Kathleen Georgia says, I couldn't come up with a better question. I'm sorry, I'm lying in bed sick. But what's your Hogwarts house? Is it Gryffindor like everybody thinks? Is this like a debate online that I'm from the Gryffindor house? Because holla at your girl, I'm very into that. Well, first of all, I hope you feel better, Brandy, because that sucks for you. I kind of sort of like getting sick a little bit because it's an excuse to do nothing. So like, congrats for your great excuse to do nothing. But I hope that you're not feeling too bad. I hope you have a light cold. That's my wish for you. I guess I'm Hogwarts. I took the Pottermore quiz, so it's official, and I got Ravenclaw. But I've always felt like I was a Gryffindor, so I don't know. I always thought, though, part of me is like, I don't know if I flubbed the test because I feel like it's stereotypical to say I'm a Gryffindor, and like I don't want to be a poser. So I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you guys think? Instagram. Am I a Gryffindor? I've heard Ravenclaw, but I don't know. I could also easily be a Hufflepuff. I don't see Slytherin because I don't like snakes very much, or spiders. Let's see here. What? Someone asked me, someone said that my dad is their musical hero. My dad doesn't play any instruments, so I think you got me mixed up. If you weren't an actress, what would you want to do for a career? Well, I've talked about this in my last Q&A actually, but I really super duper was into dermatology when I was younger, which sounds so weird and like why, but not to dog on dermatologists. You guys do some great work. My mom is a redhead and she loves you guys because she has so many moles on her face. But either way, I loved the idea of being a dermatologist because I thought that the ultimate dream job ever, which might gross out most people, would be to pop pimples. That's what I was like, yeah, that's my calling in life. Like, Dr. Pimple Popper, watch out, I'm here. Which I realized later is more of an esthetician thing. You wouldn't go to a dermatologist just to, like, pop a rad zit. I mean, you could show it off and be like, look what I grew. But, like, I don't think they would really care that much unless it was infected or something. So, yeah, I think my dream job was to be an esthetician. Although, as my mom pointed out over the weekend, I used to carry old school pocket encyclopedias of specific animals. Like, I had a freshwater fish guide that I put stickers all in, and it was like, my mom told me this weekend that it was like my safety blanket. Like, I wouldn't leave the house without my freshwater fish guide. So, I don't know what to tell you. I also asked for a cat encyclopedia, like a a full rundown of all the different feline breeds for my 12th birthday. So it hasn't left me. Still to this day, still asking for encyclopedias. I actually have that encyclopedia in my apartment right now. It doesn't have a very robust chapter on munchkin cats, though, which is kind of sad. Okay, do you want to start in on this game?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Right, we're going to play 22 questions in 2 minutes. Are you ready?
I'm so ready, Byron.
All right, let's get some fun ones going here. Who inspires you the most?
I'm bad at this. I just picked up an already signed book. I can't do stuff on a time crunch. My dad.
Who would you like to trade places with if you could?
Ooh. TBH, Lily Collins, because she's already done all of her book press.
Who is the one fictional character you'd love to date?
Ooh. Luna Lovegood. She's freaky.
Who makes you laugh the most?
Probably my boyfriend Will.
Who is the most unexpected person in your phone?
Oh, probably, I guess for most people it would be Jeremy Shada, who does the voice of Finn from Adventure Time.
Who's the last person you called or texted?
Probably Byron. Probably the mysterious man with the voice.
Dogs or cats?
Did you just ask me that? That's my answer.
Okay. What one thing do you need to have in your fridge at all times?
At the current moment, matcha tea.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
What is the weirdest thing a fan has ever said to you?
I had a fan ask me to cut her hair multiple times. Like waited on several different corners, asking with scissors.
What item would you die to get your hands on if it went up for auction?
That person's hair that I cut off.
What is your first memory from life?
Probably brightness and smells. I don't know if I had cognitive development when I had my first memories.
What was your favorite movie as a kid?
Ooh, that's easy. My Neighbor Totoro, because I really thought I was the character May.
Orange juice or apple juice?
Neither. It's too much sugar.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Do I have any hidden talents? I don't think so. I can cross my eyes in a really weird way.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
On the side of the road.
Where do you want to go that you've never been?
Ooh. If I'm going to be really bougie, I want to go to Bora Bora right now.
Where would you spend retirement?
Bora Bora.
How do you take your coffee?
Bora Bora. No, I'm kidding. Black.
To be or not to be?
That is the question. Oh.
Are you an adult yet?
Hell nah. Well, I think I am. I don't know. I'm almost.
All right, that's 22 questions.
Did I really just do that?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Killing it. Thank you, mysterious man.
There we go.
I've signed so many books, guys. I have like 3 separate stacks. I actually don't know what's this one doing. That one's not signed. It's a miracle. There we go. Thank you, Byron, for those lovely questions. I hope I satiated you and everyone else in the audience. I guess we can get back to some regular questions. How much more time do we have? Do we have a good bit? Oh, sweet. Okay, so we got some time. Cool. I'm going to keep on keeping on. Don't forget, you can buy these books. I know we've mentioned this before, but if you want a signed copy, ardenrosebook.com. That's where you can go. And wait, do we have a phone call? Do we have a phone call from the audience? I've always wanted to say that. It's like a very game show thing to say. We're going to take a phone call from one of you guys, and it's going to be an exciting time. And I'm going to put you on the spot, so you better be an extrovert. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, if you do want to buy one of these, you totally can. They're still up. I know that we have done like a million different pre-order things. We did the posters. We've done some really fun stuff. But these guys also have red binding on them, which is unique to me. So yeah. There's also the baby blue. I don't know how many of those are shipping out. I didn't even know that was happening. So it's a color roulette. Have fun. All right. So if I pull to the top, does this all refresh? What's the most difficult thing you've met during your life as an actress? I've really only done a couple big projects, and but on the second day of guidance, they made me do my first ever crying scene on the second day of set. Like, I got, the director was like, by the way, you're crying tomorrow. And I was like, that's great. That's great. I don't have formal training in that, but I will do my best. If you need to, you can poke me with something very sharp from afar. So yeah, that was really fun. It actually ended up being one of my favorite scenes, although I kept sliding down the wall and revealing most of my ass. So it kind of ruined the moment of me crying hysterically because you could just see my ass. So that was an interesting scene to do. But as I've realized with most things, you just can't take yourself seriously or you will end up being disappointed in life. So yeah, that was probably the most difficult thing I've had to do just because how do you mentally prepare to cry on camera? But how you do it is you just get so nervous that you cry anyway. That's what you do. There's a pro tip. Let's see here. Will you ever come to Lithuania? Invite me in, please. Are Lithuanian rules the same thing as vampire rules? Like I can't come to your house unless you invite me in? Maybe that's the problem. You have to invite me first. Do you have a quote or philosophy you live by? Yas Queen. I talked about this also in my Q&A recently, but I have been reading this book called The Undoing Project that I've kind of been chipping away at, and I love it, and it's about 2 Israeli philosophers. Really good stuff. To be honest, it's a very engaging read. I do enjoy it greatly. But one thing that one of them said was kind of rang true to me because I have a boyfriend who gets very nervous and anxious about a lot of different things, and I do too. And he said, if you're worried about something, you live that fear twice. You live it before it happens, and you live it during the event. So why worry about it at all? Because then you're just going to make yourself doubly frustrated. And I really like that because it's so hard to tell yourself not to worry about things. But if you know it has a benefit to you to just like shut it down, then it helps me. Because I'm like, this is stupid. I'm literally just making myself miserable like twofold. Why would you do that to yourself? So yeah, don't live your worries twice. It's not worth it. Let's see here. I'm going to go to the top of this page, get some fresh questions. I actually don't know if this is refreshing. Now that you've written a book, what goal would you like to achieve next? How about a second book? No, I'm kidding. We already answered that question. I would love to do a second book. But I think the next goal is to release Let's Learn Japanese. That's the show that we worked on last week, and I'm very excited about that. That's coming out on my YouTube channel over the summer. But the cool thing about Let's Learn Japanese is that it's half live action and half animation. So we are done with shooting all of the main bits that have me and the co-host in them. We just have to make tiny, adorable animated versions of us that I'm so excited to see. And then we have to edit them together. So that I'm very excited for that to be out because it's one of the first things that I've really had a huge hand in producing and making it exactly how I want it to be, even though like I kind of wanted to vomit at the thought of being in charge of people last year. So yeah, it's a good time. Let's see here. What was your favorite thing about writing your novel? I think my favorite thing was that it was one of those things where when I was younger, I always liked writing because I think I'm one of those people that just has to constantly be like doing things or writing things or talking about something. Like if I stall out or I stop, I feel like I'm not like myself. I like to be always actively doing stuff. So writing a book was just kind of like having a stream of consciousness all the time that I could just like pour into. And that was really awesome because, you know, if I had something that I was kind of like irritated about or whatever, I would write about it, which also is a very good therapy technique. Keep a daily journal. That's a great thing to do because it can keep you calm and make you not overreact to things. You like once you see your like pitiful like problems in your life written on pages, you're like, oh, like if I read my 16-year-old journal right now, which I actually did when I went home, it was like someone had died in my family when a guy looked at me the wrong way in class. And he probably was just like picking his nose and I caught him. So he was looking at me like, did I do something? Like, seriously, just write out what you're feeling and you'll realize how good you got it. You know what I mean? But no, yeah, I think I liked being able to have a place where I could just pour out my thoughts. And that's obviously how the book came to be. It's a lot of just stream of consciousness with like a bit of direction. So far, what have you learned from 2017? I so badly want to say something political, but I'm not going to. What have I learned from 2017? I've learned that things can get busy very quickly and that you just have to roll with it. I think 2017 is my year of rolling with it. And I'm cool with that, clearly, because I'm rolling with it. See, it's cyclical. What would you do if you found yourself always compromising in a relationship? If it's a friendship, cut it out. Shut it down. I'm very ruthless when it comes to my friendships because I didn't have a lot of girlfriends when I was younger, or guy friends, to be honest. I was actually telling a story the other day about how I was over at my ex-boyfriend's house in high school. And you know how like teenage boys, they just neg each other. They're always just like irritating, they neg each other. I got a lot of that because I was the only girl in the group, and also like I didn't have any girlfriends. So I just had to roll with the negging. And one time, one of his friends took it too far, and I was ragging on him for being short or something stupid that he couldn't fix because I'm an idiot. And he hit me in my sore spot, which was, well, at least I have friends, which is not cool to say to anyone who is lonely in high school. That is a very triggering sentence. And yeah, it was kind of like it was a wake-up call that I wasn't letting a lot of people in my life because obviously I felt jaded by past friendships. Because I did compromise a lot. I was always the kid that would say yes to anything, and that puts you in a lot of situations where you would love to say no so badly. So if you're compromising constantly, just remember that you do not have to put yourself in positions that make you uncomfortable just to make someone else comfortable. It's not worth it. And now we are calling someone. Are we calling someone? Oh, okay, cool. Wait, Rose from Lake Forest, Michigan. Rose. Oh, great name, Rose. Let's see if she answers. Hello, Rose?
Hi.
Hi, we will get you on the phone with Arden soon. If you wait just a second, we will get you on the phone with Arden.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Are you watching the live stream right now?
Yeah, I am.
So you can tell that I'm talking to you?
Oh, hi. I'm here right now.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I am. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing right.
Sorry. I had to do it. I started in on an accent, and I tried to just keep it. Thank you for playing along.
No, I was like, who the fuck is... Oh, sorry. Who is speaking to me right now?
Listen, you're allowed to curse. If you could just not fucking curse on my live stream, that would be so cool, Rose. Keep it to yourself.
I'm very, very sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm very, very sorry.
No, you're so chill. Don't even
so
worry.
Do you want me to ask a question?
Sure, you can. Yeah, feel free to. Yeah,
Okay.
do whatever you want.
My question was basically like, how do you... So I'm 18. I'm in college right now. And I was curious how you're supposed to develop into an adult when you don't necessarily have like adult role models in your life. Yeah. Because I just don't have that many like adult people in my life anymore, and I don't know like how to learn how to do taxes or.
Oh, dude, I'm right there with
insurance.
you. No, I'm so right there with you. I remember like when I was first 18 and I moved out to California, I was doing my taxes on my floor, like in tears, because I was like, I don't know how to balance a checkbook. Help. I feel you super hard. Do you live away from your parents? Like, do you live out of town?
No, well, I live, I'm going to college right now, but my dad is, like, sick, and so he's not, like, super present. I mean, he is. He's lovely. I love him so much, but, like, I feel like I don't have, like, super strong adult role models who can teach me, like, how to develop. Right. Does that make sense?
No, totally.
And obviously, like, you're also a child, sort of.
Yeah, I am. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm cool with that. Tell me I'm a child.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, just you being on your own and, like, dealing with shit like you're doing right now, you're, like, already doing the adulting thing. Because the moment, like, someone can't handle something for you and you have to take responsibility for things, that's, like, That's like adulting 101. It's just doing the shit that you don't necessarily want to do or don't know how to do and putting yourself in uncomfortable positions that teach you things along the way. Like, a lot of the book is talking about things like, I used to get nervous just parking in parking structures because that wasn't a thing in Arkansas. I know it's stupid, but it wasn't a thing in Arkansas. Like, we had parking lots. I'm from the South. We have parking lots. So I never got that. And so, like, it's such a stupid thing to get nervous about, but I used to get nervous about it until I was like, woman up, lady. Get the farthest away parking spot if you need to. You know, it's just like putting yourself in these compromising positions that then, I guess not compromising, that sounds sketchy, but, you know, like putting yourself...
Like putting yourself, like, where you have to, like in your uncomfortable position, maybe, like, where you have to, like, actually, like, do something.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. And and once again, you're already doing a great job. You're in college, you're doing your own thing. As long as you're eating, like, food and you're breathing air and you're drinking tons of water and you're wearing clothes and walking around and going to class, like, you are already doing the adult thing so well. So congrats to you.
Yeah,
Living,
yeah.
Living is what the kids call it.
Yeah, solid advice.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're doing a good job. Do you have any other questions to ask?
Yeah.
You're on the hot seat.
I know. I was, like, not expecting to get a call at all. I was like,
oh yeah, how did that happen? Did you just straight up get a call?
Yeah, because I think I take a ton of political surveys on my phone, and I always, like, I really enjoy doing that. It's really fun.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like talking to people from
wait, do people?
Banks.
You like doing that?
Yeah, no, it's so fun because it's like this person in a room with a ton of other people, and they're all, like, dedicating their time to ask you to, like, go out and vote. And I just think it's so wonderful.
You're a lovely person. No, you're so lovely. Like, anyone else would be like, these damn telemarketers, get them off my phone. So good for you. You're doing the Lord's work right now. Because that's very kind of you to enjoy that. So did you think I was like from a call bank?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well then, let me think of a good political question to ask you. It's still not bipartisan. Let me think. What do you think of Donald Trump's hair? That's the only political question I can think of.
I have dreams about his hair, actually, like, all the time. I just have dreams where I give him my haircut.
Honestly,
like, all the time.
That sounds, I don't know if that sounds like a dream or a nightmare, but either way, great for you. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. Okay.
Interesting times.
Yeah. All right, well, I will let you get to, answering all those calls from the call bank, since I know you're so excited about that. So excited.
Thank you very much.
But thank you so much for answering your phone, Rose. It's super dope. And thank you for sharing a name with me.
Congratulations on your book, also.
Dude, thanks. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I just signed like so many of them so quickly. So I'm feeling pretty good about it right now. But enjoy your day.
Okay.
And I will talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye. Thanks, Rose. You guys are awesome. That was really fun. Also, she's really dope. Like, who actually likes answering those? Like, I am the first person to hang up on someone if that happens. So thank you for doing. Isn't that like a thing? Like, for any negative action, there's always someone doing a positive action on the other side. Thank you for evening me out, Rose. You're so amazing for doing that for me. Do you want your phone back? I'm gonna keep it. This is mine now. Okay, so let's go back to some questions. I think actually these have stopped refreshing. Should I refresh the page?
Yeah, try.
Yeah? Think they work? Let's see. Watch me screw the whole thing up. Oh, no. Nothing's coming up. Maybe it's at the bottom? Oh, here we go. Okay, we got some stuff. Emma from Dundee in the UK asked me, was there ever a point where you felt something was too personal to put in the book, but you put it in anyways because you felt it was important to talk about? Absolutely. I think part of me was really dumb in that I started writing the book and got very emotional. Like, I read a whole chapter about how my dad is my hero, and he does not know that chapter is in the book. Like, he just doesn't know it. So, and he's so lovely, and he's not going to be like, why'd you put me in the book? He's going to be like, thank you for putting me in the book. But at the same time, I was kind of nervous about it because I was like, oh, I don't know how he's going to take that. Like, is that a weird thing for me to do? But I think more people need to be comfortable with emotional honesty because then it makes conversation so much easier when things get serious. So, yeah, I guess I'm glad I let the uncomfortable stuff stay, because otherwise I think my book would not be what it is, which is honest and real and raw and not heavily edited, which is what I wanted. So, yeah. What was your yearbook quote, and what would it be if you could pick one now? Well, Byron, my manager, can tell you that I like to be super late on replying to anything. So when I was in high school, that still applied. And I had to send in my yearbook quote in a week, and I spent 2 weeks thinking about it, as one does. And ultimately, I ended up doing a quote from Spirited Away. I think Chihiro, who is the main character, was about to leave, and she was like very forlorn about leaving. And she says something about how your memories never really leave you. That's how well I know my yearbook quote. I think now, if I did, it would just be like, "It's the Catalina wine mixer," and that would just be my yearbook quote, probably. I feel like that's a good one to just cap it off. It would also describe me in high school really well. What is your most favorite song you danced to? I was at a wedding all weekend, a big Southern wedding, so I got really comfortable with all of my favorite old school tunes. And I think I have come to the conclusion that Ignition is maybe my favorite song to bump to. Like, obviously. I think that's a good choice. Everyone in the room is agreeing with me. It's a great choice. Ignition's my bop. This has been a question that I've been getting so much on my social media, and I'm just going to answer it one more time. Someone asked me, do you think pineapple goes on pizza? Technically, anything goes on pizza. Pizza is a vehicle for another flavor, and most of that flavor is cheese and sauces, but it can be anything. Hence the reason why black olives got involved. I never asked for that, but someone did it, and someone likes it. Not me. Same thing with sardines. You can put anything on pizza. That's what I've learned. And I understand the concept behind pineapple on pizza. I'm about to get passionate about this, y'all, so save it. But yeah, I'm cool with it. Like, I get it. I get the salty and sweet thing. The one thing I cannot come to terms with the pineapple on the pizza thing, though, is I don't want a soggy sugar lump on my delicious crusty crust, because it's going to seep down, it's going to sog up my crust, and that's what I'm not about. So if there was a way to keep that, maybe thinly sliced pineapple would work, but it's always chunky. So that's my thoughts on pineapple pizza, since that was the most pertinent question that I could answer on here. Makes sense to me. Let's see here. How did you deal with the very first blank page when you first started writing, and how did you feel when you wrote your last sentence/word and finished the book? Would you write again? If yes, about what? And if not, why not? First page is kind of like jumping off of a cliff and hoping that there aren't rocks in the water beneath you. You're just really hoping that what you're writing is not utter crap and that it's something that can turn into a full-fledged book. Fortunately, mine did turn into a full-fledged book, but I definitely rewrote that first page probably 5 or 6 times before anyone saw it. So that was stressful in itself. But once you get rolling, it's therapeutic. Like, it's enjoyable to write. Although a lot of people would say that it's also like mind-numbingly scary to write, it's also very, very fun to write. I think knowing that people are going to read it is the scary part, because you want to censor yourself, but keeping uncensored is the part that makes your writing worth reading. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. And how I felt when I finished the last word or sentence, it was weird, because it's not like my book caps off on like the end note. It's more like, we've talked about some fun stuff in the beginning. We've gotten a little serious. We had some fun again. Maybe we got serious again. And now it's time to leave you with that last moment. And it felt weird, because it was something where I was like, I could keep writing this. Like, this could be a bigger book. But I thought that the length did itself justice. I felt like this was a good length for anyone who's a bit younger that just needs like a bit of help. I thought this was like a good digestible amount, and I didn't want to overwhelm anyone with my thoughts. That's what a second book is for, guys. So would I write again? Yeah, I think I would. We've answered that kind of a couple times today, but yeah, I think I would. And then, yeah, I guess I would write about a similar thing, maybe it's not almost adulting. Maybe it's like, hey, I'm kind of adulting now. It's a bit more of an assured adulting, but it's not fully there yet. It's like, wow, I can see it. My grandmom used to say, you're not at the end of the world, but you can see it from where you're standing. And yeah, that's my version of adulting. I can see adulting, but I'm not there yet. What does being unfiltered mean to you? I don't think it means just spouting shit out of your mouth. I think it means like giving your perspective in an honest way. So it's not about censoring yourself necessarily, but thinking about your position on something and expressing it in a logical way, I think is being unfiltered. I don't know. Because otherwise it would just be people like shouting racist things. I feel like that's actually what being unfiltered is like. How long did it take you to make the short film that goes along with the book? If you guys haven't seen the Almost Adulting short, you're missing out. Because it's real cute. And I'm wearing pigtails, and that's a good time. Yeah, it took us actually just a day to shoot. It took a full day. It was a pretty long process because John, who was the director, love him to death. I've worked with him twice now, and his style is very like, just let people improv, just like improv all day. And then once you get sick of improving, like keep improving because you won't get a script. So just go for it. And I actually like that style of acting because I enjoy thinking on my feet and going for it and trying stuff out, even if it's goofs. And so it took us a day because there was a lot of improving. And the shots were very technical for what we were improving. So, yeah, that last scene where we throw the book in the trash, classic. Classic way to sell a book on YouTube. That last scene took us probably an hour and a half or two. Yeah, probably an hour and a half or an hour to film. Just me throwing that away. Because there was a guy that was standing right behind us that really wanted to be in whatever we were shooting. And I really wanted to turn around and be like, dude, it's a YouTube thing. You don't really want to be in it. Trust me. But I think he still would have been excited. Because he was just coming out of a tanning salon and he was smoking like 10 cigarettes. And I was like, you're enjoying yourself right now. So that was good. What was even the question? Oh yeah, so that's how long the short took. It took about a day to shoot, and then it took about a week to edit. Let's see here. Do you think Will helped inspire you to write a book, or has this always been something you've wanted to do? Will had a bit of a different experience with his book because his book is curated. So he obviously wrote the intro and wrote kind of the exit paragraphs for the book. But a large part of it was him just gathering the thoughts of other people, which I think is actually very indicative of Will. That's like something that he loves. He's not one of those guys that wants to stand up and take a mic, whereas I'm pretty cool with doing that. And so, yes, he inspired me because I saw his process of doing the book and I was like, oh, it is a possibility. It's something that someone can't do that I know. It's not like this mystical unicorn to publish a book. Like I have someone in my life that I am currently dating that writes books, which is crazy. And so I saw him, was like, that's possible. And also some of the stuff that I write about that I actually already talked about today in the book is inspired by him because it's chapters about him and like long distance dating and my experiences with dating. So yeah, he's where I draw most of that inspiration from. What is your advice for young women struggling with self-esteem issues due to society's overwhelming high standards? How can we remember that we are enough? That's tough. I come from Arkansas where most of the time ladies are very self-contained, and living in LA, that is kind of the opposite. You're allowed to be like a beautiful flower that just does whatever it wants and like puts its nipples out, which is cool. And maybe my favorite thing about LA is I don't have to wear a bra all the time. I'm not wearing one now. Ha! Ha, Mom. Just kidding. I love my mom. Why am I ragging on my mom so much? Yeah, I think the big thing that you have to remember is that everyone's perspectives of judgment are not your own. Like, you don't have to take in any of that kind of, like, gross energy that someone else gives out. A large part of my high school was spent resenting my femininity because I found that it made me feel like I was lesser or that I was stupid or had to be stupider. That's great. Like I had to be quieter around men. Like that was my role, was to be like the cute one in the corner rather than the one that was outspoken. And I realized that was just stupid. Like I'm selfish and I'm narcissistic and like I want to put my thoughts out there and I don't care who thinks negatively of that. And I follow a lot of younger girls than me that just like put themselves out there in a way that I would have never thought to when I was younger. Like there's this girl on Instagram, shout out to you if you're watching right now, Bitchy Spice. You dope. You post the hottest ass pics in the best kind of way. Yeah, I met her in Toronto while I was at Buffer Festival, and she like honestly changed a lot of my perspective on younger feminists because you guys are killing it right now. Honestly, I think if anything, we're in a good place in the world because there's so many ladies who are no longer taking shit, and that's what you got to remember. Like you don't have to take the shit. You don't have to. And also keep in mind that in all aspects of beauty and fashion, the industry wants to make you feel bad so that you feel like you need to buy things. That is why advertisers put beautiful girls everywhere so you can look at them and think, I want to be just like them. I want to be thin. I want to be tall. And I want to have this skin. And I want to have that skin. And I want my acne gone. And I want my eyelashes lifted. And I want my eyebrows done. And just like the links that we go to look beautiful are all industry set standards. So like look at all that and remember that there's money involved. And that's why people want you to feel bad. So don't let that capitalist media get you down. You're going to be okay, girl. And you're super hot to me. Whew. What are your feelings right now about having something you worked so hard on finally be out in the world for others to read? It's crazy go nuts. Like I said before, it's one of those things where I never imagined that people would actually read it until it all started coming up on my Instagram. I started getting tagged in pictures and I was like, fuck, it's real. I thought this was just for me, but I have to give it to people. People have to read it. So it's weird. It's kind of like a vulnerable feeling because I can't wait to see what you guys love about it, but I'm also worried to hear what you guys think I should have done differently. Like, I'm all about criticism, so I love knowing both sides. But no, I think my biggest thing was that I was worried that I was going to get criticized for a lot of things. I mean, I talk about a lot of deeper issues of myself, and I'm putting myself, I'm like Mr. Krabs when he loses his shell. I'm like a veiny, gross, pink lump of crab meat, and I would like you to not stab me. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Did you keep a diary growing up? I did. I was one of those people that always bought notebooks, even though I always had too many notebooks on hand. So I would write, I probably had at least 10 diaries when I was younger, and all of them in different places. You would probably never be able to find them in the same place again. But yeah, I find random snippets now and then when I go back to my childhood home, and I just realized that I did not know everything at 14 years old. That's what I've learned. What is your secret to everlasting beauty? Sleep and a good eye cream. That's what I've learned. In my like new favorites video, I'm going to talk about my favorite eye cream. Shout out to my YouTube channel, which I haven't talked about a single time while doing this live stream. Props to me. Yeah, I found a really good eye cream that I'm obsessed with. So, yeah. How do you find fulfillment in life? I don't know. When you find out, let me know. I would love to know. I'm always hungry for something new. What's your favorite ramen? All ramen. Although there's a ramen at Tatsu Ramen called, I think it's the Hippie Bowl or Hippie Ramen. That's an entirely vegan ramen, and it's really good, and you don't miss anything without the meat. And you could also get it with a half egg if you just wanted to be like a little bit naughty. It's really, really good. All right, guys. I think that's actually it for this live stream. Thank you guys for hanging with me for so long. I hope you enjoyed the Q&A. Thank you once again, Rose, for calling me. It was lovely getting to chat with you, and I hope you're enjoying talking to all of those politicians right now. Thank you to everyone who pre-ordered the book. I'm so excited to finally give birth to this. I've been having labor pains for a year, and it's finally gone. So that's really nice. And thank you to everyone who bought a signed copy from ardenrosebook.com. You guys are dope, and I hope I answered a lot of your questions. Thanks to everyone who submitted questions. And other than that, can I talk about the meetup next week?
Yeah.
Cool. Is it 7th? 6th?
April 6th.
Our secret man in the back is going to give me info because I need info. We're doing our first meetup in Hollywood at Urban Outfitters at Space 1520. Thank you. We've got another mysterious voice in the background. We're doing our first meetup at Urban Outfitters at Space 1520.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so fun. We have 50 spots for people who pre-ordered books, right? And 200 spots for people who want to buy a book at Urban Outfitters. The book is your ticket, correct? The book is your ticket. Yes, I'm making sure. Be there early because you're going to have to get in line, because there are a lot of people that have pre-ordered. And I wanted to save you guys a bunch of spots, but also it would be kind of a disservice to Urban Outfitters to not also sell books in the store. So I hope you guys understand that. So there are 50,000, wow. So we're selling out at like 3 stadiums. No, there are 50 spots for people who have pre-ordered the book and 200 for people who want to come in and wait in line and meet up. And we're doing that at 7 p.m.? That's not right. I know that's not right. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific. Obviously, because we're in California. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that, and I'm so excited about that. I'm going to meet all of you guys. We're going to have a cool MC who's a lovely podcast woman. She's going to do a great job. We're just going to chill out and have a fun time in Urban Outfitters. So shout out to Urban Outfitters for being dope and letting us set up shop. They have been so amazing this entire time. I'm so excited to do the event next week. And I'm just hoping that they style me for it because I want to get some free clothes. What's up, Urban Outfitters? Hit me up. You know my people. Let's get talking. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching the live stream.
More autographed books available online.
And there are more autographed books available online at ardenrosebook.com. And I think you can also still pre-order it on Amazon if you want to get the book there as well. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching the live stream. And I will see you guys for the next video and probably my next live stream because this has been really fun.